Okay, Mr. Naim, we can proceed now. You're not
Yes. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about editing in general, and then we will be proceeding on the app. So hopefully every one of you has downloaded Snapseed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So editing in general means that you don't have to do something very, very extraordinary or to a very large extent. You have to be very subtle with all the steps you are taking. Do not go beyond, certain limit. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
there
think it
now.
came
Yeah,
through.
yeah. It's there now.
Okay, that's great.
Great.
Let me just open Snapseed. Okay. So you can see this program now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. That's great. Okay, once you open this program, you will see this plus sign,
Yeah.
or you can see on the left top, you have the open option there as well. So just click on the plus, and you can just open any file you want to work on. Let me just open something like this. So the first thing that we have to, I'm going to talk about is basic retouching. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the moment you will open any file, you will have some presets here. You can see them uh, in the bottom, right?
Okay.
Yeah, these are the presets. You can use them or you cannot use them. It's your choice. So what I generally do, I do not use them. I want control on individual things. So let me go to tools. So the first one, tune image. This one is the most basic one. So once you click on an image and hold and move up and down, you will see all these options coming there. You can see them, right?
Yeah.
So the first one is brightness. If you move the slider towards left, just click on your image and move on the left or right side. So you can see that the brightness goes up or down. So if you want to change the brightness, you can change the brightness. It will just brighten up the image or either reduce its brightness if you move towards left. Second thing is contrast. The contrast works like you can separate the shadows from the highlights. Like you are enhancing the highlights, brightening them up, and you're darkening the shadows. So this is what you're doing during contrast. But these are very basic settings. I'm just telling you these because we have to start somewhere. So saturation, it will change the overall saturation of the image. And let me show you as well. If you move it towards right, move it towards left. So basically, I just want to tell you how this program is working. So ambience is better than saturation. It does the same thing, but your uh, your skin tones, it retouches them at the very end. It does not touch them in the beginning. So first of all, it will try to change the environment and everything. And by the end, if you move it too much, then it will also affect your skin tones as well. So ambience is a better way of retouching or increasing the saturation of an image. Then highlights are those areas of an image which are the bright areas of your image. And shadows are opposite to it. The dark areas will be called shadows. And there are midtones as well. They are not here. I will tell you where they lie in this app. You can also work on midtones, which are in between highlights and shadows. Then you have this warmth filter. Sometimes our images have yellow tint to it or maybe blue tint to it. Blue means their temperature is low. Yellow means their temperature is high. As we move towards red, orange, these shades are high temperature shades. And as we move towards blue, or temperature is low. So let me just move it towards left. You can see now the blue tint is starting to appear on the image. And if I move it towards right, you can see it is becoming more yellowish or orangish. So in some images we will require this, and in this image we do not require it. So this was my basic flow when I have to just retouch my image in a very basic way. Okay, second thing I want to talk about, let me go into tools, and I want to talk about healing, because healing is a very important aspect. You can actually zoom into the image and you can see different areas. Oh, sorry, let me undo it. Now you can see close to her nose, there is one area where we have some issues. So you can zoom in further, and then you can just slide over it, and you can just change these small details on your image. For example, here where I have blemishes or freckles, I can just remove these blemishes and freckles using this healing tool. But I will show you one more image where we have a bigger object to remove. We cannot use healing because it's not very sophisticated as you compare it with Photoshop or any other dedicated softwares like these. So you can use it for removing small blemishes and freckles and everything. So once you're done with any step, you just have to click the tick sign, and then you're through. Okay, then if we have to sharpen our image, we will go to details, and here we have structure and sharpening. So sharpening, if I zoom in somewhere, let me just zoom in somewhere around here, and then let me sharpen it. You can see the texture becomes more visible. You can see it, right? Let me just try to show you somewhere on the hair. So you can see the hair are becoming more sharp, and this is one way of sharpening the images here. And you can target them on different areas as well. I will show you how you can target areas instead of targeting the whole image. So this was another slider. Then there are some other tools. White balance, you can change the temperature of your image. And there are two things. One is temperature, the other one is tint in white balance. So temperature, what it does, as I showed you earlier, the warmth tool, which was available in basic settings. You can also use this temperature tool. If you move towards left, it will change it to blue, which is your colder color. And if you move it towards the right, it will change it to yellowish color. Tint, you can put a color tint on this image. If you move towards left, you will see a greenish tint will appear on it, and if you move it towards right, a magenta tint will appear on this image. So this setting you can also change from here. So let me just close it from here. Then if you want to crop your image, sometimes I have to crop my image. The reason is that I want to see it more. If any one of you know the rule of third, I want to put my essential things on these vertices of these squares which are appearing on the screen. So if you use original ratio, this is how it will do. And you have multiple ratios available. Sometimes, mostly you use 16:9 ratio. And if you want to use any of them, you can use them. Let me not disturb this thing. Okay, now these were the basic things I wanted to show you. Okay, these are a few things you can do here. Now let's move to the most important thing that we are all here for, because there are two more things I want to tell you before we can uh, start with some advanced techniques and everything. So if I have to add another exposure or another image on this, because some of you wanted to see that thing, let me open another image so I can just demonstrate it better. So can you guys see? Because I'm not hearing anything from you guys.
Yes.
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 Yeah, we can.
And
Right, fine,
are you
following.
guys following along?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. We're trying
Any
as much as
questions?
possible.
Any questions? You can stop me at that time. No problem. If you don't want to, forget that question, you can stop me at that time.
Which tool are we on now?
It's Snapseed. Still the same
No,
thing. I just opened
which?
another image.
Oh, just okay, fine. Carry on.
Okay, let me open another image, and what it means that this image will remain open, and I will just overlay another image on this one. So to do that, if you see on the left bottom, there is this option called double exposure. So let me click here, and if you see here in the bottom, there is a plus sign on a picture. Just click on it, and then you can add another image. So
Wow.
let me add this image, and then we will change the settings so you guys can see. Let me put it somewhere around here on her eye. So in fact, let me just try to put inside her eye. Okay, now let's go to these options. These are different blending options. If you guys are aware of the blending options from maybe Photoshop or something, are you guys aware of the blending options?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, by blending I mean, every pixel on your picture will interact with the second image I just overlaid on this image, and it will produce some result. For example, if I use lighten as my blending option, then the brightest pixel, which is white in our situation, will add up to produce white. It will not produce anything because this is the brightest color. Are you following up?
Yeah.
Are you guys following along?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we
So
can hear you, Mohammed,
basic,
very well.
yeah,
Just proceed.
yeah.
Yes.
Basically, the blending modes are the resultant. They produce a resultant pixel from the two images we have superimposed on each other. So these are different options. You can try any of them. So look at this: add, subtract, and these are few options you have available here. And if you use Photoshop uh, or any other software, you will have more options available. And by the way, you can use your fingers, two fingers, to zoom in or zoom out on your image. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great. Okay, then if you click on this option, which is blue at this moment, a droplet like sign, then you can just change the strength of the second image. For
Can I just
example,
ask?
okay,
Can I just ask?
yep.
How can I switch from adjusting the first and the second image?
No, you cannot.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
It is the second image that you can adjust, not the first one.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Can you not
whatever you
touch
have,
up the layers? Like
sorry,
this is
no,
a
no, no,
layer,
no,
right? This is
no,
not
no, no.
layers.
You
Okay.
don't have layers here.
Okay.
You don't have
Okay.
layers here. So whatever you have to do on the first image, just do it before you want uh, to superimpose another image. Maybe
Okay.
if you want to turn it to black and white, you have to do it before you use this double exposure option.
Okay.
So let me just leave it somewhere here and then click OK. So now is the most important part, because this image does not look good. So to make it look better, let me just tell you what you have to do. If you see on the top here, you can see layers, right, with an arrow sign just beside this eye. Just click on it and then click on view edits.
I don't have that.
And sorry,
What did
I'm
No.
using an
Cannot.
I don't have I don't see an eye and I don't see this arrow back.
Yeah, we
Can
don't
you
know.
see on the top?
I don't see unless maybe I
I do
should
not.
press check.
Can you see open? Can you see open?
If I see this one, yes, now I see, but then the second image which I had disappeared.
Disappeared.
Oh,
Disappeared.
so did it happen to every one of you?
No, in my case it's
No.
okay.
Naim,
I
if you
think-
can move your cursor around, maybe people can know what you're talking about. Move your cursor to the place that you're talking about.
Can you see my cursor? Because I'm using my mobile. I don't know whether you can see my cursor or not.
No, we can't see
Um,
also.
No.
Okay,
I
let
can
me
see the
let
cursor.
me okay, let me put my cursor. You will see my cursor. Just give me a minute. Don't worry, I have solution for you guys.
That's good.
Yeah. I will connect my mouse to it so that you can see it.
What
Can you
he's
see
talking
it?
about is at the topmost right hand corner, there are 3 dots. Next to
Yeah.
that is just go
We
next.
So
see
can
your
you
cursor
guys?
now. Yes.
Oh, okay, that's great. So
Yeah.
here is the layers,
Yes.
Correct.
Oh,
and you will see edit stack.
no.
It's there
Not
now.
visible.
So
Not visible.
when I click on it's not visible.
No.
It is. It
The
is.
cursor
I don't know.
visible.
It is on
The
iPhone.
cursor is visible now.
No, I-
Which phone are you using?
iPhone.
So is it
For me-
visible on the iPhone?
Yeah.
Yes, it
For
is.
me, it is very clear here. I don't know why people are not able to see this.
Okay, maybe. Sorry, who was saying that he cannot see it?
Yeah, I'm not seeing that top thing that you showed.
Sorry. What's your
Right.
name?
David.
David.
It's David.
David, what I
Okay.
suggest is decrease the brightness of your phone screen. Then maybe you will be able to see his cursor. The brightness on your phone screen must be too bright. That's why you're not able to see his cursor.
No, I can see his cursor. I see the cursor.
Okay, David. My suggestion is that are you working on an image yourself as well, or are you just following
Yes.
along?
I'm working an
Are
image.
you working on your own image as well?
Yes.
Can you see anything like layers and an arrow above them or something like that? Anywhere else?
No,
Maybe not on the top of the screen.
No, when you moved your, hang on, wait a minute. Okay, I'll make that. Move your cursor to where you found those, okay. That's what you're clicking on. Edit stack.
Yeah.
Okay, have that. Couldn't
see
see
it?
it, couldn't see it on there.
Okay.
Carry on.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So let me click here, and then I will go to view edits. Okay, this is where I can see my layers, although I cannot do anything with my original layer, but with other layers, I can work. You see, I don't have any options on my original layer, but on double exposure, I have this arrow. Let's click on this one. And this is the option I'm talking about, this brush.
Oh,
So just
okay.
click on the brush and then click on this symbol. This is the masking symbol actually. Oh, I cannot click on it because of this. Let me just put it somewhere else. So when I click on this, it will show me the image which I superimposed on this one. So if I paint on it with double exposure value is equal to 0, it will remove this superimposed image
Yes.
from wherever I paint.
Okay.
Mhm.
So if I have to paint it this way, but this is not the way I want to paint it. I just want to paint it with this layer off. Although in some cases you will have this. It will be very useful if you paint with your second image on. So let me just reduce the double exposure to 0 and remove everything from my image, because I want to see where I want to paint. And then I will change it to maybe 75%, not 100%. I don't want to paint 100%, but I want to paint with 70%. And better if you zoom in, your cursor size will become smaller, and this way you will have more control over the areas you're painting. So I'm just painting where I don't have the eye. I just don't want to paint inside the eye. And I will share with you another image where you will see how this effect has worked. I have another image where I used another Milky Way, but I don't have that file anymore, that Milky Way, because I did not shoot this Milky Way. I just downloaded it from Google. So can you see it now? This
Yeah.
is the result.
Yeah.
Let me just paint around here as well. So if you guys have stylus and then you paint with that stylus, you will have even more control than your fingers.
Oh, okay.
So I have my stylus as well. When I have to work in more detail, then I use stylus. So do you see the resultant image? So everything I wanted to paint on this face, I just painted around the eye. I did not paint on her eyebrows or any other area of the image, but you can see that image has changed a great deal. So just hit this plus sign again and this back arrow. And now if you just click on the image and hold it, you can see this is where we've started and this is where we ended. So there are other images I have here where this effect even looks better. So this was my original image. So this is one shot from the camera. Let me tell you this interesting thing as well. Let me give you one photography tip as well. So this is one image. I did not shoot two images or anything. I just asked the model to light herself up for 2 seconds with the mobile phone, and then she walked out of the frame. And you see all other things are properly exposed, but she is transparent. The reason that she just walked out of the frame after 2 seconds. So I used the similar effect on this image. You can see here to add another Milky Way. I don't have this Milky Way with me anymore. So the best practice is that if you're working on one image, for example, this image was blue sky, dark blue sky. So I tried to find one Milky Way image which was also bluish. You understand? So it's better when you're working on any images, then try to find the similar colors in the image you want to superimpose on your base image. Sorry. Okay, let's talk about. So any questions on this thing, or you want me to do anything else like this so that you guys can understand?
Can you do retouching of someone's messed up image? So it's motion blurred, or is it possible on this Snapseed to retouch it, where the image might be cracked, or something like that, and he's got some cracks.
You want me to retouch a portrait, right?
Yeah.
No issues. Let me. I had this in this tutorial, so let me just do this one quickly. Okay, so I am not going to talk about all these tools in great detail, but my point here will be to retouch this image. So whichever tool I have to use, I will just talk about those tools at this moment. Okay. So let's start off. So first of all, let me analyze the image, what I have to do here. So let me zoom in on the face. So you can see there are some facial hair. I don't have to remove everything, but I can see some blemishes. So I can work on them. Maybe this blemish here on the forehead and some of the blemishes around this cheek. Then if you see the shirt is quite a bright color, but it does not have the saturation to pop. So I will add some saturation as well. If you see here, I want to add some more contrast, maybe some more highlights to this image, so that this sun will appear more brighter. So these are the three things I want to work on. Then if you see here on the neck, there are some issues as well. I will retouch it as well. So first of all, it is very important that you try to identify the areas you want to work on. Okay, even before that, I want to crop this image because you see it's quite lengthy image. I don't want any long images. I want this line to appear on his eyes. So let me just grab it from this corner, and this is where I want to leave it. This is called the rule of third, and you divide your image into 9 equal sized rectangles, and you try to put your important things in the image on either the vertices or along these lines. So I'm happy with this crop. Let me just hit OK. And then what I want to do, I want to go to healing tool to make some changes on this image. So let me just zoom in and start off with the neck. So here it is. Then here is a small blemish, and here is another one. And now let me just zoom in on the face. So let me click here, 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 here. So anyone having any trouble so far? Hello?
No. Go on.
Okay, that's good. Is it only me and you talking to each other?
It's okay.
Because I cannot hear you, so I'm thinking maybe everyone
we're
has
good.
ran
No,
away.
we're on mute.
Yeah, editing
Okay,
has to go.
okay,
I think we're all playing on our phones at the same time.
Yeah.
okay,
Exactly.
okay. So guys, I'm just retouching small things so that you can just follow along. It's better you guys use stylus if you have one. So I'm not going to remove all the facial hair. I'm just going to remove those things which are really distracting. Okay, let's go on this side of the face and then try to. Okay, if you see it is not working with the first touch, just try to slide your finger on that thing again. And if it does not work, just undo those things, because this software obviously cannot remove big things. It will remove small things with a better job. It can remove the big things, but the job will be very poor actually. So here we are. Okay, so it's better when you are retouching, zoom out a little bit and see the overall image, and then zoom in again and then see which are the areas you still have to work on. So it's better after like maybe 5-6 retouches, just zoom out and see which are the areas still remaining. So here we are. So I think it's okay with this image. I don't have to just super retouch it. It is just for the learning purposes. Okay, so I have done healing. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to click and hold on the image to see what I have done so far. So you can see these are there are the areas I have removed the freckles from. So this is enough for the freckles. So what I want to do, I want to just change the temperature a little bit because I think it is very yellow for my taste. So what I want to do, I just want to go to white balance and click on temperature, and then gently, I'm not rushing with anything. I'm not making any huge changes. So maybe around 12 or somewhere, I think this image looks good. And if you see on the top here, top right corner, you can click here to see what you have done during this step only. Okay, so you can see I have removed that yellowish tint, and now the image looks more natural. And let's hit OK. Now the next thing I want to do, I want to add some saturation to the shirt. I don't want to add any saturation on the face. And if I click and hold it and go to saturation slider, I will slide it towards right. And just look at the shirt. Do not look at any other thing. Just look at the shirt. And when you are satisfied with the shirt color and everything and the saturation of the shirt, just leave it there. At 30, I'm okay because the shirt looks more bluish and more bright now. And hit OK. Now we will go back to this edit stack, these layers. Click here, view edits. And the last step we did was tune image, where I changed the saturation. I will go there, hit the brush, and at the moment you can see I did not click this, so the change is not visible on this shirt at the moment. So what I want to do, I just want to paint with maybe 75%, or you can even paint with 100%. So 100% means the whole change that you did during this step will be applied to this image, wherever you will paint on this image. And if you go down maybe 50% or 25%, only 25% of that effect will be applied on this image. So let me go 100%. I just want to make sure I can see that color pop on this shirt. So let me zoom in and just brush on this shirt. So let me brush on both sides. Just okay. This eye symbol is for the mask. So just turn it on so you can see if the brush you are doing is not going beyond where you want to brush. So zoom out real tight so that you can see you're not brushing on those areas where you don't want to brush. Did you guys follow along for this step, the one I did now?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
great.
Yes.
Okay, so if you guys have done anything where you don't want to brush, I will tell you how to remove that thing. So let me just first finish this brushing job. So I've almost brushed the whole shirt. So let me remove those areas where I did not want it to spill. So what you will do, just go to this tune image and just remove it to zero. Move it to zero, and then just brush on those areas where you don't want to brush, where you don't want this effect to effect. So this has not to be very perfect, but try to make sure that the best you could do, just do the best.
Name, are you using a stylus? Or are you doing with your fingers?
No, I'm doing with the hand. I have the stylus, but I'm just doing it with the hand so that you guys can see it is not that difficult of a job, you know. I'm not doing it with the stylus at the moment. So the more you zoom in, the better it is. You will have more control over smaller areas. And once you do it, just zoom out so that you can affect bigger areas. So here it is. Let me just hit OK. And then just go back. And you can see, just click and hold on the image. You can already see that image has changed a great deal. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to add some smoothness to the skin because the skin looks quite textury, you know. So I want to add some smoothness. So you will go to Glamour Glow, go to Tools, and then go to Glamour Glow and click here. Here you have multiple options available. And let me just zoom out and then click here. And here you have multiple options available for glow. You can see whichever fits yours, your choice. You know, the first one, the glow will not be too much. Then second one, there will be glow but yellowish glow. Third one is even more. Fourth one, the glow is a bit colder, it's not that yellow. And then this one, you have some glow as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use 2 because this is the one that looks better for me. Let me hit here and see what is happening here. Okay, let's hit OK and go back to those layers and view edits, and I just want to affect the skin tones, nothing else. So hit OK and hit maybe 50% this time around, and just brush and turn this eye on and just brush on the skin, nowhere else, not on the eyes, not on the hair, just brush on the skin where you want this glow to appear. So I'm brushing with 50%. This means the effect will take place, but only the 50% of the strength, not the 100%. So just brush out, zoom out and then brush on these areas. So let me just be a bit quick so that I can teach you some other stuff as well. So if you guys have any image and you want me to, because you know all of us are not the same kind of photographers. Not everyone is a portrait photographer, not everyone is a landscape photographer, or you know, not everyone is a product photographer. If you guys have any image and you want me to give you any tips or maybe edit it here, maybe we can take 2 images or something like that, and you can just we can share it on the chat, right?
I think so, but I think your phone has to be signed in, right? Into this presentation or the Zoom link. Most of us
Yeah, I will go
laptop.
back to Zoom link if I have any image you guys want me to edit. So here you go. You can see I have just edited the face, nothing else. No eyes, not inside the eyes, just outside the eyes. Okay, I think that's enough. Let me just zoom out and hit OK. So just go back from here. So, you know, this is my overall edit. I don't have to do anything else. Just click and hold on the image. You can see this is where we started and this is where we ended. So did you guys like this image?
Yeah, perfect.
The edit? Just make sure, guys, do not overdo anything. Do not overdo anything. This is the main thing. If you overdo anything, then the image will look more cartoonish or something.